And hello again to the lovely detective. Couldn't get enough of me, huh? Oh, don't deny it, sweetie. Look at me. Fit, rich, dangerous. I'm like catnip to someone like you. Really. So if I pulled my shirt down just a little, you wouldn't. Ah, there's my favorite color. Blush red. You know, you say the word and we can get out of here. And I promise I can make you do a lot more than just blush. Fine. You're right. I did come to give a statement. But I'm not gonna pause my passage just because you recorded me. Oh, and cutie, one more thing before you start the tape. Just so you know, I've got the best lawyers. And even better, butchers. If you use any of this against me, I promise none of the charges will stick, and plenty of sharp things will stick in you. Do I make myself clear? Smart and beautiful. You're the whole package, sweetheart. Alright. Is this thing on? Right. I am Jackeval Traides. I run a group of organized corporations that have been alleged to be a criminal ring. Some people have affectionately labeled me as a mob boss. My company does work across the east side of the river. My main rival, Tony, operates in the west. Now, for both of our company's sake, we've agreed to stay in our own camps. We keep to our side of the river. Now, one of my closest friends was strolling home one day, and they stumbled upon a crime in progress. They understood that they had witnessed a drug deal, and recognized the dealer, a kid that works for Tony. Now, this kid is barely 18, so my friend didn't want to ruin his life by turning him in, so he did the smart thing and he came to me. You know, detective, you could come to me anytime. Right, strictly professional. My buddy comes to me and he tells me what he saw. I've got a couple contacts with private investigators, so I ring one up to dig some dirt up, you know. Figure out who sold this kid any sort of weight. Why I know a private investigator is irrelevant, detective. And I don't have to answer that question. I'm not under arrest. I'm simply giving a tip to my local police station. Now, as I was saying, I send the investigator to look into it. He finds that the kid got the weight from Tony. Turns out, in addition to the completely legal businesses we both compete in, Tony's been running a side hustle of sorts. He's been sending runners to deliver a new cocaine mix to my side of the river. Now, supposedly, it's really good stuff. I heard that Tony contracted some MIT chick. She's got a master's in chemistry and a couple minors in biology. She cracked some formula that's twice as addictive with nasty withdrawal symptoms. Now, Tony is flooding low-income communities with the stuff. I happen to open a large number of jobs to those who are underprivileged, and I'd hate to see them get taken advantage of like this. However, I'd love to get the privilege to take advantage of you, detective. Oh, you're no fun. Anyway, I know the police department is absolutely overwhelmed these days. Organized crime is through the roof. So, I got the investigator, bless his soul, to do a little more digging. Turns out, Tony is sending out a shipment of around 1,000 kilos of the stuff soon. Now that is the question, isn't it? Where and when? Tell me, do you have a wife at home, detective? Husband, maybe? Oh, I think it's very relevant. I'm about to give you the tip that'll stop thousands of dollars of illegal drug trade, and you're throwing a fit because I'm asking if you're taken? Quite frankly, it's immature and unprofessional. I'd have your badge, officer. Glad you see it my way. Now, are you, or are you not on the menu? Single. Not by choice, I imagine. I bet you had a smoking little side piece once, didn't ya? But they couldn't handle how much work you consumed. How many nights they spent in an empty bed. Was that it, detective? You know, I wouldn't mind someone who works long hours. Someone who doesn't come home every night. I mean, just have to do something special when they get over around. Make the time count, you know. When and where? Well, let's think. Tell me, detective, are you free on Friday nights? Why? 'Cause I want to ask you out, of course. I'm thinking somewhere candlelight. Full moon, cheesy bread. You're not allergic to shellfish, are you? Wow, you are a clever one. Yes, I was thinking the bistro down by the docks. But I must insist that we go on a full moon. When the light dances across the water, it looks absolutely magical. Now, I'm no werewolf, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think the next full moon is actually on next Friday. Maybe we can head on in there. Detective, don't leave just yet. You're missing something. Well, I can't tell you, silly. Clearly, you aren't interested in our date. So, I'll have to withhold the last bit of my info. At least until we order some crab puffs, that is. So, how about I pick you up on Friday about, 9-ish? You can even bring your friends. Although, I don't know if the commissioner will want to send a SWAT team to sit in a bistro or nothing but my good word. So it's decided then. 9 on Friday. I'll be outside your dingy little apartment in something expensive. Probably red too. I'm sure it'll stand out amongst the slum cars. I expect to see you dressed to the nines, alone and ready for action. Sound good to you? What kind of action? Oh, aren't you a curious one? Well, buy me a couple drinks and I'm sure we can do any kind of action you want. Well, let me say it another way. If you get me drunk enough, then we might do it in any back alley we could find. So you should probably bring your gun, just in case. You never know when you might need some self-defense. No, I will not be elaborating on that any further. You're the detective. Read between the lines. Alright, this interview's over. So, unless you want to leave together, then I'll be going right now. That's what I thought. Can't wait to see you dolled up for me, detective. Oh, and do try to get some sleep. I can't have you in my arm with shadows underneath your eyes. People will talk. Ta-ta. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do apologize for my extended absence. I really did not mean to do that, but I do want to get back on a semi-regular schedule, and I really want to try to make more of these as often as I can. But I really do hope you've enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to check out my socials and follow me over on Twitter and on Twitch. I'm usually live on Twitch, streaming random ass games that I just feel are fun. And on Twitter, you can find most of my updates regarding my content. So do please go check those out, and I'll see you again soon.